Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. I am back after a little few days hiatus. Had a lot of travel with work last week, so wasn't able to stick to the normal schedule. But we back. I'm here on a Monday because we're gonna ramp up this rewatch series. So today we are doing Texas versus Louisiana Monroe, which is now the already the fourth game of the season, last non-con game of the regular season that we're covering today on the channel from 2024. Arch Manning's first career start at Texas. Pretty up and down performance, but left on a high note, obviously, in a 51-3 victory. So just kind of breaking this down again, where the defense was dominant, how this team looked in a tune-up game to start SEC play, as we opened up SEC play against Mississippi State. Obviously, Quinn Ewers out with injury. This was the game where we really worked Jaden Blue back in from being nicked up. So a lot to dissect in this game. And, I always give kind of the tail of the tape to the opponent of which we were playing. So in terms of the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks, they at this point in the year, were 2-0. And then obviously after they lost to us, they ended up winning three more games. So they were 5-1, and then ended up going on a 6-game losing streak to end the year 5-7 in the Sun Belt. So that's how they finished up. Obviously, they had some issues at the quarterback position. We saw multiple quarterbacks in this game, starting with General Booty. We also saw Ahmad Hardy, who was a freshman phenom at running back, ran for over 1,300 yards in 2024, and is now the starting running back for the Missouri Tigers, which was a huge portal pickup for Eli Drinkwitz and that staff. So Ahmad Hardy is now a starting running back in the SEC, and one of the better runners. Obviously, a guy returning 1,000-yard rusher from the Sun Belt. But y'all tap in, hit that like button, subscribe, the whole bit. As we get to this rewatch, let me know what you guys think. I'll get over to the screen here shortly. Duty Price, what's up? What's up? What's up? Let me know if you're here in the comments. Tap in, hit the like button, subscribe. Like I said, we're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers by Texas, Ohio State, August 30th. We got to have a big time ramp in these next 50 days. I believe we could do it. I know we can get over 13K. We're almost 13,000. We're almost there. So help a brother out. I think we need like 120 more people or something like that. So if you can help us out get there to 13,000, be very, very grateful. We're the little engine that could over here, but we are excited to just be fan led and talk ball as always. Marlon, Duty Price, what's up, fellas? How we doing? Let's get over to the game. I already got the screen up here. Sherry, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get into this. So Arch's first start, a lot to the nerves. I remember in this game he was playing against a lot of former guys that he played some high school ball with out of the Louisiana territory at Isidore Newman. I have not rewatched this game since the season, so I feel like I'm going to be looking at this fresh. Jay Reed, what's up? Homer said, you're about to watch Majors get destroyed by the nose all game. All right. So we're going to tap in. Oh, yeah. By the way, before we get to this, we always track what the first play call of the game was. But before we get to the offensive set, I do want to say, if you see the QR code on screen or just the thing at the bottom, still want to spread awareness for the Central Texas flood victims, donating to anywhere you can. The money that was sent in the last live stream that we did last Sunday, I did donate it, and I actually was able to get it matched through my employer. So, just wanted to throw that out there, FYI, before we jump back into this, because wanted to let y'all know we are want to help those folks out. All right, so first play was incomplete. But so 2 games in a row now, we've actually taken a shot downfield versus just the automatic lateral completion, which is interesting, right? Now, especially now with a game plan really tailored for Arch, right? And what he is going to look like in this Sark offense. And I think one of the things we want to talk about in this chat today, and what I want to hear from you guys as I'm watching this game, especially people like Homer, I got expert residents in here. What are the differences, right? What are some of the differences you guys notice? What is catching your eye off film from what the offense looks like under Quinn Ewers versus what the offense looks like under Arch Manning? Now, again, keep in mind this was Arch's first start. I do think Arch makes a lot of big strides between this week and the Mississippi State game, just in terms of processing speed, calming his nerves, being a little bit more settled. But we get to see kind of how he works his way into this football game. Some of the mistakes he makes. Obviously, the nerves are going to be there. Your first start. I remember Quinn's first start was also against Louisiana Monroe, and he came out real jittery and all those things in 2022. Right. So just setting some context here as we get into this exercise, because again, this is a joint rewatch, a group rewatch that I'm doing with you guys. So first play of the game, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Get running downhill. Hayden Connor on space. So 7 yards, Jaden Blue. 3rd and 3. So we get our first conversion. 3rd down to end breaking route to DeAndre Moore. I want to back that up there just to see what Arch was seeing on this 3rd and 3. And that was a nice run that Jaden Blue had to just get us back on track. I talk about that all the time. If you have an incomplete pass on 2nd down or a negative play on 2nd down, what can we do to make sure we get back on track on 2nd down as a play caller and as execution as an offense? Little orbit motion there, but we go with the inside read. So that's a good run. Now we're in it looks like 11. Nice end breaking route from DeAndre Moore running to the sticks. 1st down. Right. Gunnar Helms also running end breaking route, more of a shallow cross. Empty set. Arch takes off, gets a couple yards. Yeah, I remember that one being a flag. Who's the hold on? Is that on DJ? Yeah, that was on DJ Campbell. So now we're 1st and negative. 11 personnel. Jaden Blue. It's not a bad run on 1st and 20. That's a terrific throw by Arch, especially the pace on that ball. I mean, that's a deep out route, right? That's right at the stick. So from where he's throwing, that's what 16, 17 yards downfield. That's throwing the football with pace right there. Let's get back to that one, because that was pretty impressive. And it kind of sucks because it's like two straight plays back to back where we're a little bit negative downs on those sequences to get going. But just having that throw there. So this is after the penalty. Sorry, I backed it up a little too much. So obviously we have the run. So now basically just outside zone. They were stacked to the bunch. That's a good pass block by Jaden Blue, by the way. Chip that outside in. Great job, Silas Bolden. Look at Jaden Blue here. Boom. Good job. Clean pocket. So good. And that's good execution. 1st down. Let's see. Who was that? Gunnar Helm, DJ. So good inside run. Is this where Arch got just carried away? Yeah. So right there, just doing too much. Doing way too much. Way too much. Like, brother, chill out. Avoids the sack, right? Get a little pressure. And this is what you want to do to young quarterbacks. You want to get pressure from different angles where you can to speed them up, right? So I get it. I get it, but it's a little too much. Come on, YouTube. Let's get our act together. Remove the pocket. Ends free, but on that second guy, it's not there. It's not there. Throw the football away. You know? Riley said, looking like me on college football 2026. That's hilarious. Nasty pick. But growing pains, especially young quarterbacks. Arch isn't perfect. But how do you rebound from that? How do you respond from that? Especially starting the game that way. It's frustrating. Nobody, first career start, you just throw a nasty, nasty pick. What's up, H Post? All right, here we are on defense. Hardy in the backfield. They go boot. Kind of a smart way to start. Thinking, considering how much we're hedging on the run. Alfred Collins, no sir. Who's that? David Benda. I mean, just the way that they're able to discard their blocks. That's actually a -1 at the line of scrimmage. Arch had to let his Louisiana boys feel good for a minute. All right. Let's see. We got two hot. Single high. Boom. Ooh, wee. Ant Hill. Good morning. Good afternoon. Get it, baby. Get it, baby. Ant Hill on the delay. That's a nice delay there, folks. Quarterbacks break and contain because Vernon Broughton's about to take his head off. Trey Moore's free. So Ant Hill just cycles to space, right? Where the quarterback's moving. He's such an excellent natural pass rusher. I keep saying this every time we watch our defensive clips. We cannot go away from deploying Anthony Hill as a pass rusher, regardless of down. Now he gets an interception later in this game too, so he's good at both. That's why he is regarded as high as he is as a college football player and the development that he's really had over the last 2 years. But this guy had 8 sacks last year, and he had 6 sacks the year before. He needs to be continued to be deployed as with stuff like that. Keep mixing it in, PK. Keep mixing it in. Karen said, just praying that Diabell's first start isn't against Monroe as well. Where we get another nasty ass pick with our boys being just young. I'm curious to see who we do have on the schedule. Diabell might start against like UTSA or somebody, knowing who we have. Look at Silas. Around the world, baby. The Adventures of Silas. Oh! Stay in bounds. We have more to get, but it was a hold. Yeah, we were just talking about the H post. Quinn threw a pick in the 22 game against Monroe. All right, second drive. 11 personnel, it looks like. Nice job. Nice job. That's more of a power. Now we go outside zone. Jaden Blue had, I think, 25 carries in this game. Heavy workload for him. All right, play action. Still in 11. Taking a shot. Woo! Isn't it refreshing? Now, for all we talk about with Arch still, he's still learning the speed of the game at this point, right? And just getting used to live bullets. Isn't it refreshing to see somebody throw a deep ball like that? Like, think about that. Like, just it's the perfect pace, perfect trajectory on the football. Outstanding job. I mean, some of those things, some of these balls. I mean, let's just face it. Like, three would just overthrow it or throw it to a different hash. Like, we just could never see. It just seems like when Arch throws those balls, they're effortless into the location where they should be for tracking purposes for the receiver. A big part of it is just, can you track the football? And he just makes it really, really easy for the pass catcher, regardless of who he's throwing to. To me, he hit him in stride. I mean, I know Bond slipped there, but like, just seeing that go in. Oh man, what are we doing at the goal line? We should be now starting to see what Homer's talking about. Oh Lord, is this was that Quinn's? That was still a top five Quinn throw. That 62-yard deep post to Nair in the spring game. Kieran, I think that was the game where me, you, and Homer, we were all sitting with each other. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was that game, the spring game. My goodness, how time flies. Offense looking very different with Arch. I didn't even cover the touchdown. Damn. Let me go back. My bad, y'all. It was at the goal line, so it's not a big deal, but okay. Yeah, we got the push in there. I just indeed they shall. Indeed they shall. Those lies will stay right there. All right, touchdown Texas. Marlon said the defense looks different. Yeah, I do think that this is it's going to look more like 2021. The more we, in terms of the style of offense, because those are the shots we were hitting to Xavier Worthy and even Joshua Moore when he was here. We were hitting those shots. All right, David Benda, everybody's kind of pulling their blocks. It's not a bad run. That's Hardy there, 6 yards. I'd like to see guys get off the blocks a little bit easier. Yeah, that was the pick for Ant Hill. Why didn't we score a touchdown here? Was that because of a penalty? That's an athlete there, y'all. I told y'all that pick was coming. That's an athlete there. I mean, just in the first two drives, Anthony Hill is showing you three or four different things he can do as a linebacker at just different levels. For me, Arch's comps are Trevor Lawrence, Herbert, and Baker Mayfield. I have Arch more as a. This is gonna sound. I mean, it's high praise. All these are high praise. All those names are high praise. But just the, I don't know. I guess just the natural polish and just how he sees things. I see Andrew Luck, at least the closest thing to Luck. Like, body wise, he's not. Andrew Luck was similar, but I guess a little stockier and more of a power guy. But I don't know. I just see the polish of just playing and understanding the quarterback position. That's been my comp for him. Gunnar Helm. Yeah, they called the horse collar tackle there. Another end breaking route on 3rd and 12. But now Arch is getting settled to the game, right? Hits that deep shot. We have a turnover. This is what you're supposed to do to teams like this. Andrew Luck went to a team that had no regard on how to deal with a quarterback at that time. I mean, God bless Chuck Pagano and the late Jim Irsay, but if you look at the drafts that they had, Indianapolis hit, he was going 11-5 on his own in Indianapolis. Where'd that pressure come from? Hold on. Is that a blitz off that play action? Was it play action? What happened there? Let's see. Okay, so we did the loop protection for Cole Hudson. Oh, Jared Gibson missed his guy. So that same so you remember that's where snaps come from. Let me pause real quick. You remember the play earlier where we hit the deep out to Silas Bolden on the first drive? Jaden Blue nails that edge guy, right? That's why some guys play more than others. It has nothing to do around the football. Because Cole Hudson actually gets to his guy on the inside. Jared Gibson whiffs on that block. Quarterback gets hit. Impacts the whole throw. Right? So that's the improvement we got to see from Jared Gibson year one as a freshman to year two to just earn the right to stay on the field and be on the field in some of those spots. You can't miss your block like that and allow the quarterback to get hit. That's a big no-no. Not on that quick, right? If the quarterback holds the ball and an edge just works through your running back, I expect that. Any good edge should beat a running back over time, but not that quickly to where he just whiffs, right? And we give that up. We also Jake Majors got work right there, so now we have a negative play, 3rd and 12. Gunnar Helm up top and breaking. Had some space, kind of similar to the Jonte Cook play we ran the week before, right? A little bit. Not the same. That was more of a screen concept, but same type of in breaking route that we ran to Jonte the week before where he scored in the UTSA game. But that's going to be a first down. Bond's going to clear kind of a slot fade. Yeah, that's a horse collar. 1st and goal. Play action. Boot. Touchdown, Jaden Blue. Big game for Jaden Blue. Such a good receiving back. But again, as I keep saying this, we are going to note the difference in the style of offense. Just asking the chat, do we run boot like this with Quinn? Just basic boot from under center? Is this even an option that we ran with Quinn? Not to say that we didn't roll Quinn out. Well, obviously, he had a rollout touchdown in the Michigan game, but that type of boot from under center, the defense also has to account for the run of the quarterback to just run it in, right? Like we don't run this with from under center, especially. It's just different. He does that. He does that with ease. This channel predicted Tyler Atkinson to Texas, by the way, just based off the clip we found on. Quinn doesn't run any Spider 2. That is Spider 2 banana. A Gruden staple. Get that boot action, get that fullback leaking out, get that waggle concept, Spider 2Y banana. We don't run none of no, we weren't running none of that before. No, sir. That was not a part of this offense. Anyway, yeah, when we pulled that the Tyler Atkinson clip from the Ryan Clark podcast at the end of it, and he said, "I'll see." I mean, I don't know. I was trying to read between the lines there, and then all of a sudden things started kind of leaning closer and closer to Texas. And at that time when he said that, he hadn't even had a visit scheduled. So just interesting developments there. All right, let's see that defensive snack because it looked like Anthony Hill did some more good stuff. Ethan Burke, Bill Norton's in the game. So they're going outside. Boom. Ethan misses. We had decent penetration there, but the back's able to wrestle and get 7 yards on first down. First down. Ethan wraps up better. Now we got Ethan to the other side. Colin Simmons is down in the game. Booty's just running for his life. Did he step out of bounds before he threw that? Or I guess he threw it away. Jade showing blitz up top. Nope. Yikes. That was Fright Night right there. Yeah, Ethan Burke was like, "You're not gonna fool me, Billy. You're not fooling me." And that's how you handle. Look how he handled the tight end with his off arm. Y'all see that? He just flung the tight end with his off arm. See that right there? Those are the plays I'm talking about. Why we've been struggling to get people over 10 sacks because we get instant heat right here, and he throws it into the ground. This is why Colin Simmons ends up with 9 sacks and not 12 sacks. Like, look at this. Vernon Broughton, they're getting there in 2 seconds. And there's no stat for that other than a pressure, right? But in terms of the sexy sack numbers, the guy scared money, just throws it away. It is what it is. Ooh, that was ugly at the point of attack. Let's see here. Are we in 12? Screen. We could have used a better throw there. That's where, funny enough, Quinn is money on these, and Arch will be too. Not to say that Jaden Blue can't make that catch, but I expect Arch to just throw a better ball there. Just bad. That's just bad execution, but still should have been caught. Shot. Pass interference on Wingo. Next year, Wingo probably gonna make that catch. Honestly, I mean, but just overall, we're productive when we're throwing. I mean, it's a little underthrown, but 4 gets there early. 4, big old boy. 15 yards. 11. Beautiful. As much as Arch had some of the jitters, I mean, and he sees it, seeing it, he's just throwing the ball on a rope, guys. These aren't layer lob throws. Granted, the space is there, right? And he should. And it's not a difficult throw per se, but just the consistency and accuracy is what you want to see, right? And then giving an opportunity for guys like a Ryan Wingo to be just deadly after the catch. That's simple ball. He's beaten 13 well across his face. Really off the line of scrimmage. Beat him immediately. Chunk play. Now we're almost in the red zone. Screen to Juan Davis. Ooh, way to keep your feet, Juan. Good job. Juan was underrated. Nice job, Jaden Blue. Inside patience. Juan's coming around. That one we're just moving guys with our size. Good point, Post, about the catchable balls. I agree. Shoulder fake, wide open. That's a classic Manning ass touchdown. With the pump. That's a You know, it's funny. That one's wide open, but we have those we have a lot of pump and go plays like this. I mean, we missed on one in the Peach Bowl to Gunnar Helm, if I recall. Similar concept, but Texas dominating first quarter 21-0, even with the opening turnover that we have, the opening pick. Arch has already made some really, just bounce back solid. Really has bounced back solid since that early mistake. That's a hold there on who's that? Alex, is that Alex January in the game? He was getting held. Then they cut Ethan Burke. Ooh, block on the back right there. Okay, boy. Third down. The thing is, it's hard to watch this Monroe. Monroe, there's just no threat at quarterback to do anything, and Texas knows it. Right? These are like just quick, get it out, and that's actually a nice play call for them, throwing to the leveraged area of the field, but or where we were out leveraged, but they don't. He doesn't even keep his feet to get more yards, but they do convert there. But it's just hard, like knowing that what we're watching, the defense is really just not threatened by this guy. Now we definitely want to see Ryan Wingo in particular be that guy for us physically, right? Just whatever he can get, whether it's in that in your vicinity type receiver, in your area code type receiver. Ooh, Trey Moore, great get off, great job, game speed, knocking people out. Defense is flying. Look how confident they are. Look how they're communicating. That I don't care who the opponent is. That translates. Just getting people proper fits across the board. The communication's outstanding. Let's see. Holding. Okay. Look at that. Since the pick, 6 of 8, 114, 2 touchdowns. Playing with great pace. They're running the football. Yeah, Jeremiah Smith is in a whole class by himself. I can't go there. Okay. We got a lot to prove before we get there. Look at Silas. I remember that one. See, man, even though these aren't perfect, hit them in stride. Like we're hitting them. The fact that we're hitting these throws makes a huge difference. This when you're hitting throws like this consistently, guys, it will change how people are guarding you on a snap to snap basis. If you're able to hit shots, right? I'm not saying every single one is going to be a perfect head and stride, but when you can be aggressive like this and just hit shots, it changes the way people will defend you. Period. Because we know what we've been at the line of scrimmage, short and intermediate. But now you got the oh my god, like this guy's a real. Not only is he willing to throw the bombs, Quinn was always willing to throw them, but I mean, just the ability to come down with those, it just makes a freaking difference. It's a heck of an effort by Silas Bolden in converting that. I really wonder what type of season he would have had offensively if he was able to have gotten here over the spring. But they had that academic credit thing with uh, Oregon State not being able to. They were on quarters versus halves. Like just it changes everything. Now all of a sudden you're gonna have safeties lined up on Mars, taking more shots. Look at that. Like, and they got safeties. It's not like these are just like busted coverages. He's taking these shots. Like, I don't care. Back up, right? And again, it's just throwing a catchable ball, trusting your receivers, go get it. And if there's nobody over you, I'm not going to overthrow it to the point where you can't even make a play on the ball. But if you're even, I'm going to throw something to where I trust you 50-50. Protect me. That's all I ask for. If something like that where the guy's even pretty much even with Matthew Golden, protect me. I trust you to go get it. I mean, he's not even. He had him beat by a couple steps. But even if it's, I rather that than you throw the ball to, because what I've seen with Quinn is either we miss long or we miss, let's say we're running posts, we're missing too far to the other hash to where I can't even make a play on it. Or you're putting too much air. Like, it was just always like something, right? But we've completed like 3 or 4. I get it's Monroe, but we weren't even completing that against Monroe, people like Monroe. We weren't completing that against teams like that, against anybody. Like, it was on rare occasions that we were hitting that. That changes the whole trajectory of the offense of just letting it rip, but letting it rip responsibly to where my guy can make a catch on that, even if it's underthrown. Step into the throw it at pace, but throw it with decent air under it. I mean, it's not. Yeah, flip. I mean, one of the things too. You see that right there. He showed athleticism and toughness, but he kind of didn't know what he was looking at right here, and then he kind of panicked. But before we get back to this play, the other thing I wanted to say is when we're attacking teams like that, and we have that propensity to do that, you don't have to rely on 12, 13, 14 play drives to score touchdowns anymore. I remember when Sark got here, he was like, yeah, if I could, I'd rather score in 4, 5, 6 play drives and have explosives, right? Not to say that we never ever did that, but most of the drives we had under Quinn, they were methodical 10 play, 11 play, 12 play. And the thing about that, and Sark always talks about it, the more plays you run, the more propensity you have to make a mistake, especially in penalty or offensive line. So that also hurts your scoring rate, right? Because let's say you're on the 12th or 13th play of the drive, and offense starts getting grabby in the red area. Now we're kicking field goals, right? Because we're in that condensed area of the field, but we've shot ourselves in the foot and gotten behind the chains, and now we have, it all factors in. But if you're hitting chunk plays like that, and it's like, damn, I started at the 20 in 2 plays, I'm at the other 20, and I'm going at pace, like my scoring rate is just going to be higher. All of it factors in. So you now are in an offense just looking at the quarterback. After one start, you're in a completely different offense. Now his clock will continue to improve, right? So those are growing areas. He's showing athleticism, but also I'm not seeing some just when guys are open, he's not missing at like to where the like even right there, right? Like there was a couple plays, and Quinn was very good in the first game against Colorado State, but he had a couple balls where for whatever reason the ball just got out of bounds every now and again. Haven't really seen that with Arch, right? He seems to just be able to take his time, and I think that's because of the to Quinn to Kieran's point, he has consistent footwork with his feet. That right there is probably a miss, I'd say. especially considering 7. But if he's gonna miss, that's where I would want my quarterback to miss on a play like that. But think about how many touchdowns we scored on those wheel routes all year. That was our money. A&M, Ohio State. Then we do that swing route concept. That was to nibble it. Great run after the catch. On third down. How do you guys think Ryan Niblett will be used this year? You think it'll be a similar role like this? Fade, that's a poor throw. But also, um, that looked like pass interference to me. They call false start. Let's see. I actually thought that was PI, but that was a poor throw. And the reason why it was a poor throw is too far inside. He has to throw that back shoulder with the way the receiver stacked. That ball has to be back shoulder. But that's what with the pick, that's like Arch's second or third bad throw. Good job, Jaden Blue runs in standing up. 28-0. Cam Williams threw that guy out the club. DJ and Jake Majors got a double team downfield. Easy money. Touchback. So up 28-0. I mean, just doing what we're supposed to be doing. Colt McCoy. We'll see if how long his touchdown and yardage records stand here. And when I talk about records, I'm talking about single season records, not career. Assuming Arch plays 2 years, right? I think for Colts records to be beat, it's going to have to be somebody that starts for, 4 years. Arch is not going to start 4 years, right? He'll probably start 2. But single season is definitely in play. That's just bad football by Monroe. I mean, we don't need to provide analysis on that. Just bad football, bad execution on what is supposed to be a pretty safe play to the flats. Yeah, our single season records aren't astronomical because I mean we did that in the gunslinging Big 12 days in the 2000s, but it's nothing crazy. Especially if you're playing extra games. So a lot of the statistical stuff, the stuff that's really hard offensively to break at Texas is the run stuff because we've had guys go for 2,000 yards. But passing wise, there's a lot of meat on the bone to be had at Texas and from a passing record wise. Arch could really do some damage. All right, so we have trips to the boundary. This is bad football. Bad football. They call it delay a game on us? Well, what happened there? Why we get delay a game? I must have missed the context on that. Anyway, Ty Anthony Smith, Alfred Collins, great job. I know Leona Leifau got a sack in this game. I wonder if that was off a delay. But we're just manhandling the line of scrimmage. Jade comes on a heater, gets his hands up. That's a great job by a DB, by the way. Great job by the DB. Most DBs don't have that instinct to do that when they're blitzing. A lot of guys just run. They don't actually like realize like what Jade did to slow down and stop and just screw up a passing lane. Like that's really high football IQ. Good play call by them to go They have another quarterback in now. Now they're back to Booty. There's Hardy. Hardy's a good player. You see that? Like, look, I mean, he ran through to Anthony Smith. Makuba gets him down, but that's just a good run. He's a good football player. He's going to be really good at Missouri. There's Hardy again. Good jump cut. Like, takes 3, 4 people to get him on the ground. Real good back. You guys can see why he was one of the top backs, if not the top back in the portal. Beautiful play. That was probably their best well-designed play. Michael Taft caught a body. I don't mind it. I don't mind it, Taft. That's a clean hit to me, especially on a big-ass tight end like that. Is that defenseless? Did he get hedge? I don't. I remember them reviewing this, and I don't think it was called targeting when they reviewed it. Yeah. Fake pitch, inside concept, inside little tight end leak. Those are a couple nice little plays. That's a nice little play. That hey, I'm from the Andy Reid School of Business. Of you run something like this against me, I'm installing it in my playbook. This is now my play. Yeah, I know we have stuff like this in our offense, but in terms of marrying that leak concept to the pitch to the field, I like that. Big ass tight end. Damn, Akuba. That's a big boy. 88. Yeah, Makuba got ran over. Very rare you'll see that. You won't see too much of that on film. Very rare that you'll see Makuba get got like that. But that's a big ass tight end. This is definitely Monroe's best drive of the game. They're going boot. Guy sails it. Doesn't even give this guy a chance. Put the ball down a little bit. Give him a chance to make a play on that. They go boot again, same side. Nothing's there for him. There's Lee foul sack. So that's not even really a delay blitz. That's just getting out there in space. That's not a blitz. Leifau's playing coverage. Great job, Sorrell. Just you know, I know you didn't get the sack, but he rerouted the quarterback, and this guy just didn't have anywhere to go with the football and just ate it. Field goal, good. So those are the measly 3 points that they scored, and they don't score again. So while they gave up, the defense did give up some stuff. They had some really nice plays. Monroe did, but still held it down in the red area. All right, 2 minute drill. That's a ballsy throw. His feet are a little late for me. I like him going through progressions. Start with what we like. I like the willingness to take the throw. I do think that that's the proper type of throw you want to throw if you're trying to drop it into the bucket, deep seam like that, into coverage. This is tough throw to attempt. High percentage of turnover, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if Pro Football Focus graded that as a turnover worthy throw. I don't know. But it also has propensity for a potential big time throw if it's perfect. And there's guys that rip those type of throws um, into the seam, even against that type of coverage. But I don't mind Arch trying it at this point in the game. I don't know how I'd feel about him trying to throw like that against Georgia if it's 10-10, 1.5, if you know what I mean. So context does matter. You're up 28-3. You feel like you're in rhythm. You're lathered up. I don't mind him ripping something like that there, but that's a really difficult throw. I mean, that's essentially triple coverage. There's a window there because that's what you're looking at. You're looking at the windows, but that's a really. But he's also kind of late on coming to that, right? So just something to be. To me, I want to see a little bit more urgency in his feet, snapping back around and really getting on top of that. Because right now he's comfortable. That's a miss. That's a miss. His feet are a little stagnant there. So room for improvement, right? That's a miss. That's a touchdown. I mean, who else is out there? Stop Jaden Blue. I mean, they got lucky with the offsides call, but there's some really bad miscommunication going on with Monroe. Look at this guy right here in coverage. He's flat footed. He has no chance. That should be that's a touchdown. That guy's flat footed. And I think Arch sees that he's flat footed. He just missed the throw. So we want to see better consistency there. Put the ball on him at that point. You don't even have to really try to lead him. The guy's flat footed. You can't make a play on like that unless you allow him. Oh, Vandalise, I missed your super chat. I'm sorry. I meant to come back to that. Donations. Donations. Appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Just so consistent and helping this channel. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's continue. 2-minute drill. Yeah, I don't know what it for me. Now that play right there, yeah, Jaden needs to catch it. That's a hot ball. Um, Arch played mid versus ELM. I actually agree with you. He was okay versus ELM. First start. They took a shot here. Good job, Manny Muhammad. But let's go back to that pick. Just for John. I love that one. Just relax, John. Put your tissues and lotion away. Let's be respectful here, man. It's really arrow Texas concept from the back from Jaden Blue, right? Texas concept being like a arrow route where you bend it out, come back inside, try to beat the guy across his face. Now it's more of a zone, but just bad execution. Because there's a little window there. Arch is also a little late to me, but it's still an accurate throw. You just put a lot of mustard on it, and then you get tip drill pick. So that's tough. That's tough. Too much. I do agree. Yours there probably makes that throw. A little bit probably throws a more catchable ball for the back. Third down. Just good job playing kind of the boundary for the defense. Trey Moore spin move. Hey. All right. Get it back upfield. David Benda. Not really getting pass rush right now. Gavin Holmes Good coverage. Yikes. Yikes. Oh, yeah. Ethan Burke got his hand on that. Okay. I couldn't remember. Bad snap, bad hold. Got to get the laces out there or be spinning them while the guys coming. Can't have the laces there. I was a holder in high school as well as QB, so I know that was really bad execution by Monroe. All right, let's zoom through this second half. Yep, laces out. Somebody said a rare W for Jeff Banks, that block field goal. Oh, jet pass, but we got, man, great job. You see how we had all those lanes covered up? Look, Baron Sorrell has inside, Benda has inside, and then Makuba and them had outside contain. So no matter where he was going to cut that back in, we had people there. Swing pass, we here. Great job, Michael Taff. Doing your homework, get there early, make the play. We did all of it. Good job, Trey Moore. Forced a negative play just with his pass rush. These aren't even heaters. And these guys should be dominating against a team like this. Let's also be let's keep it all the way above, especially guys up front. We should be just should look exactly like this. Triple team up front. Good bounce to the outside hole. Jaden's just in good rhythm tonight. That's a miss, but I at least like Arch's feet better. Oh, roughing the passer. I thought his feet were a little bit better in terms of knowing he wanted to throw a fastball, just ripping into it. Yeah, that's a late hit. Damn. Let's see. This is 12. Pistol. Jaden Blue. Great run. Great run. Might be his best run of the game. The patience gave him the cookies right there and was able to get upfield and get even more yards. Great run. Now we're just feeding Blue. Was that a legal shift? Is Trey Weiser taking a carry in this game? See, that's Gibson, touchdown. You already know what it is when he gets in the game, start running the ball. Jared Gibson, that is. He's just running hard behind his pads. Where are we at now? 35-3. Good job there. Defensive line. Just dominating the line of scrimmage. Try to go speed option. No, thank you. Benda and Baron Sorrell said we watch way too much damn tape to get for y'all to get away with some BS like this. Come on. Knock it off. David Benda, Baron Sorrell, tag team. Knock it off. Yeah, I ain't. Come on. Now we're in like a dime almost. Feels like, oh, this guy caught his own pass. Damn. Was that Sorrell again? Who was that? Took the pass. Yeah, Baron Sorrell. From the interior. Man, if Colin Vasek can give me any type of consistency with health, we can do a lot of that cool stuff again, man. How do we not block that kick? I really need special teams to be hitting again at Texas, y'all. We really, really need special teams to be hitting again. That is a must. Another punt. Silas just couldn't help himself. Silas could not help himself. Hey, I like that Ty Anthony Smith. Hold up, cuz. I like that Ty Anthony Smith. Yeah. Peyton's first start, he only threw 14 passes. I guess Washington against, was Ryan Leaf the starter back then? Or was that wouldn't have been Drew Bledsoe would have already been in the NFL. Interesting. Wonder if Ryan Leaf was already their starter at that point. At least it'd be good to know for bar trivia. Appreciate it, Sam. Every now and again. Yikes, fumble. Hey, but we don't panic. Oh, I'd love to see Isaiah Bond make that catch. This would have been a another highlight reel play. Immediately gets his eyes back downfield and throws a good ball. All things considered, how messy that was. Yeah, now right there he aimed it and was so this just a really interesting game from Arch in terms of things to learn from, especially from a patience standpoint. Not every play has to be the greatest play ever. Like now he can do some of these things like just off script, off platform, making it happen. But like the next play on 3rd and 5, and I think this is where you just continue to see growth at the quarterback position. That next play on 3rd and 5, just being a little bit more quicker with the better bounce and rhythm and making that throw, but also getting to that check down quicker. Right now, I still think he's a little tick or so behind in his processing of what he's seeing. And I think that it improves just in 1 week with the Mississippi State game. Pretty much a draw, game speed. Colin Simmons, great job. Trips to the field, fake bluff. Who tipped that pass? Punt. All right, so we're at the 50. Who's in the game now? Is this Trey Owens? Archer's still in the game. Yeah, Archer's still out there. Taking another shot. Love the location of that throw. I know it's incomplete, but that's where that ball should be, location wise. It's not perfect. I mean, but it's in terms of the miss, like, and granted, that dude, you could make the argument number 8 kind of interfered, but like, even the misses, like, I will say his feet. I think by like the next week, Mississippi State, he doesn't miss a throw like this, even with the way his feet were already starting to move. Like there, he was a little slow. He still made a really good throw, all things considered. Yeah, Wingo could have done a better job tracking the ball too. I agree. Wingo definitely could have done a better job tracking the ball, but that's still a really good, to me, a really good throw, all things considered, based upon what we have been seeing. But that's also where we need Wingo to take that next step as a player, right? For all the hype and accolades and things that we think can come his way, and I know he's more than capable of. Those are the type of plays where we want to see a little bit improvement, just ball tracking wise. Oh, sending a corner heater with Manny into the end zone. Who made that tackle? Was that late foul? Wow. 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 Great job, Leon Leifo. He's become underrated. Delay game. Just got the whole operation shook up. They're running their offense from the parking lot now. They're running their offense from the parking lot now, y'all. Like, this is, look, nobody's just relentless. Relentless. Bear Sorrell, Jordan JJR. Man, look at that pursuit. Great job. This is Golden. Yep. And Golden was going to be aggressive right there. It was probably his last touch of the game. He had that one big catch for 40 something yards, but other than that, his workload was pretty light. Didn't really have to do a whole lot. Doesn't mean he's not, wasn't. Obviously, he was counted on later in the season, especially with the injury to Isaiah Bond, but Golden didn't have too much to work with this particular night. It was kind of a get in, get out job. Screen to Bolden. Good in and out cut. Play action, RPO. Jonte Cook. First down. Jonte's first target of the game, I believe. Yeah, we got to come down with those. Let's see. Gibson. I'm exhausted. H posted. Whoa. Ah, Silas. Dude, Arch just throws the ball consistently like this. Our guys are going to be fine. I'm not worried about the receivers if he's throwing the ball like that. I mean, the space is there. Good pancake for Hayden Connor. Crushed a dude. So, hey, Quinn. Quinn showing that leadership. I am grateful for him. But we know this is a different animal that Arch is bringing to the table. Great job, Colin Simmons in space, tackling in space. Got the young guys in there now on defense. Kobe Black's in the game. Ooh, who was that? Who was that? Let's go back. Was that Sadir? Sadir and I think that was Sadir. Bassett, Javion Cole. Okay, Javion Cole's gonna start at corner for Arizona this year. Now I think we got Trey Owens in. Yeah, Jared Gibson running it. Good cut up field. Great job, Cole Hudson, Connor Robertson getting active. Yeah, actually getting a great push here in the run game. Connor Robertson's turning his guy. Oh, got Colin Page in the game. Was that like a front side counter? What was that? Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Colin Page. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Getting loose. Let's. Oh, I backed it up too much. My bad. How are we feeling about Trey Owens, Matthew Caldwell, KJ Lacey, the whole backup quarterback situation? I know a lot of us are very still high on Trey Owens and some of the things we heard about him running the scout team last year, but um, just curious. Spencer Shannon out there, 83, getting some blocks. I mean, I definitely think it's a good take to get a quarterback with experience like Caldwell that's played, and started games in college. I don't think that's ever a downside to having your room. But am I necessarily convinced that Matthew Caldwell is your just bona fide QB2? We'll see. I mean, because Trey Owens was, it's year two in the system. At this point, guys like Malik Murphy, guys like Arch were backups, right? For more experienced guys at that point, especially once Hudson Card had transferred to Purdue. Ryan Niblett getting in. Just wanted to see how you guys are if you're curious about. Did see the Diabell news. Niblett get there? Hey, it's got great speed. Ryan Niblett. You can see why he can play multiple positions. Great speed to the edge and to finish the run. Took out some people with him. Got Neto coming around. Got Cole Hudson coming around. Yeah, I remember they reversed this, and then he got in anyway. Good for him. Texas Rock said Trey Owens has my vote. Dude is a stud in his own right. No, the talent's there for sure, especially at his size. Just it's God forbid, anything happens to Arch, and let's say it's something that's even just a couple weeks. Does Trey Owens get you out of that? 51-3. Great job. Colton Bassick. Incomplete. Great job. But uh, Black was trying to get a pick. Great run to the outside. Colin Page. Colin Page had himself a night for a walk on. Had himself a night. Had himself a night. Okay. And you see the blocks. Look, I mean, there's space there, right? I mean, especially even the tight ends are blocking. The backup guys. Now we got Cole Lord in the game. Spencer Shannon's still out there. Agbo out there. Parker Livingstone's in the game, who we will be contributing, who will be expecting to be more of a contributor this year. Let's see. 2-minute warning. Flea flicker. Y'all calling the flea flicker now? Javion Cole gets a pick. Yep, he's gonna start for Arizona. He's gonna start for Arizona. Appreciate it, Brandon. Only beating Aggie by 10 is poverty. Damn. Co-world. Not one, not two, three, four girls. This is Garbanzo time. Run the clock out these last few plays. Oh, get that handoff right, y'all. Jaden Chapman in the game. One more handoff. I don't even know who they handed off to. Who is that? Who's 29? Where's my Colin Page at? Kojo in the game. Kojo moving. All right. So Arch's first start. I know, we had the two picks. One was off a deflection, and the completion percentage wasn't great, but 15 of 29, but it's for 258, two touchdowns, two picks. Obviously, it's this Jaden Blue game, right? 124 on the ground off of 25 carries, three touchdowns. And then he had really had four touchdowns. He had another one, receiving. So Arch's big statistical pass game came the following week, but just a really, really good day. Really, really, really good day for the offense after we got, even with the two turnovers, getting everybody in the game early. Really, really, that was 3/4 of work for Arch. That's 3/4 worth of work. If he plays a full game, he's over 300 yards passing, probably another couple touchdowns. But, the next game we'll do is Mississippi State. I might just do that tomorrow night. I'm trying to think because when do we go? Do we go tomorrow on SEC Media Day or do we go on Wednesday? Do we go tomorrow or Wednesday? So I would like to do a little something after I might just do a recorded video of my reaction from all the media day stuff. We go tomorrow. I can look that up real quick while we're talking. Yeah, BK's down there. So if he says that's the case, then that's the case. I've been working like crazy, so I haven't been able to keep up. But let me see. SEC Media Day schedule. Today was LSU. I know today was because I just covered it on Texas Sports Unlimited. By the way, if y'all missed the last episode of Texas Sports Unlimited with my man Patrick Davis on Open Gym, go check that out. I just did 2 hours of radio with him. So if you want to go check that out, me and Patrick Davis on Texas Sports Unfiltered, go over to that channel. I'll put a link in the description if you're watching this on the rewatch, but go check that out. We just did 2 hours over there from 4 to 6. I was filling in for Matt, who's also going down. Yeah, so today we're tomorrow. Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas is tomorrow. So I will be on tomorrow. I'll be going live from the hotel. because I am traveling tomorrow. But I'll be on tomorrow night, just giving my 2 cents on media day, and then when I get back home, we'll do a rewatch for Mississippi State because I'm not going to be able to. I don't have my setup on the road, so I won't be able to do a rewatch on the road. But we will be able to do a rewatch when I get back. So when I'm on the road tomorrow, we'll just cover media day thoughts and go from there. But yeah, tomorrow's Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas. Today was LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Vandy. And then Wednesday, Bama, Florida, Mississippi State, OU. Thursday is Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, and Texas A&M. So a lot of stuff going on in Atlanta between MLB All-Star Week and SEC Media Day. So if you're down there in Atlanta, have a good time. There's a lot going on. But I will be back, like I said, tomorrow night. We'll talk about Sark's comments, the most requested person will be Arch out of all these players for media availability and just getting his, perspective on things. So can't wait. It's going to be an exciting time seeing them promote the program. And yeah, I'm excited. Remember, hit that like button if you enjoyed the rewatch series. Trying to get to 15,000 subscribers by Texas, Ohio State, August 30th. Remember, we're almost at 13,000 subscribers, so it's free to show love. Hit the like button, subscribe. Help a brother out. We'll have more short form content coming. Cowboys, Spurs, all that stuff on Instagram, TikTok, the whole bit. But yeah, the rewatch series continues when I get back later this week. And then, we're now into SEC play, starting with Mississippi State. So appreciate y'all. Horns always up. Hook 'em.